Ladies and gentlemen, the Advanced Wars Reboot Camp is only 2 weeks away, and to celebrate this occasion, Deejus and I are hosting an Advanced Wars Grandmasters live tournament this upcoming Saturday, only 2 days from now. This will be the third tournament of its kind, and if you haven't watched the previous two, this will feature some of the best Advanced Wars players in the world going head-to-head in exciting, lightning-paced matches with Deejus and I on live commentary. In Season 3, we have some exciting newcomers, as well as some of the old veterans returning. Let's start this video off by introducing our contestants.
Calculations complete.
First out today, we have the enigmatic player known as the Nightmare of Heiankyo, or Nightmare for short. Hailing from Sweden, Nightmare is currently ranked as the third strongest Advanced Wars player in the world, and he also sits at number 1 on the Fog Ladder, where he is ruthlessly dominating all competition. Nightmare is known as a cold, calculating player that loves drawing his opponents into indirect traps. If he gets a chance to play Sturm in Tier 1 Fog, he absolutely will, and you can expect him to bathe his opponents in artillery and rocket fire. I once played a training match against Nightmare, and I just saw all my troops being blasted away before my eyes. I lost without even seeing what hit me. There is no doubt that Nightmare is a ridiculously strong player, but how will he handle the transition to fast-paced live matches where Fog of War is disabled and indirects are tricky to use? That is always a good question and something that will be very exciting to see going into this tournament. Up next, hailing from the United States, we have Tordread. He burst onto the Advanced Wars scene only a short while ago and took the entire ladder by storm. Famed for his hyper-aggressive playstyle and his love of spamming tanks and battlecopters, Tordread quite literally brawled his way to the top, mercilessly crushing anyone in his path. While he has had to change up his playstyle slightly as of late as players have started recognizing his tank spamming ways, Tordread is still known for being hyper-aggressive and very strong in live matches. And the most insane part? He's never even played any of the original Advanced Wars games. He just found Advanced Wars by web and learned the game there, and then proceeded to destroy everyone. What an absolute giga chad.
We're gonna build the wall, we have no choice.
And then we have the one and only Profeta, who's here to preach to us the glory of infantry walls. Profeta hails from Chile, and he's been around this community for a very long time. And he's known as a very helpful player who's always up for giving advice. Profeta is an all-around solid player who's proven himself in both standard and live matches in the past. He's a returning player from the very first season of the Grandmasters live tournament, where he played against Talose in an absolutely crazy adder mirror match. He's also a content creator on YouTube, commentating Advanced Wars matches in Spanish, which is a nice niche that I don't think many other creators are filling. The question is though, will Profeta be able to profess victory in this tournament? Only time will tell. It's not really a true Advanced Wars live tournament without the one and only Starflash. His name has become synonymous with lightning-fast play and exciting games. Born in China, but currently residing in Canada, Starflash is a returning player from the past 2 seasons. He made it all the way to the finals in Season 1, barely losing out against Sith, and in Season 2, he dominated the entire tournament and ended up becoming the champion, which makes him a clear favorite to win Season 3. When Starflash is at the top of his game, it feels like no one is able to challenge him in live matches, due to his blazing speed and his peerless play. It's not uncommon for Starflash to have double-digit time left on his clock while his opponent is down to playing on increment. What's even more impressive is his ability to play well at such blazing speeds, making very few mistakes and also ruthlessly punishing any openings he finds. After watching him play countless games, I can promise you one thing. Whether he wins or loses, a Starflash match is always exciting. Up next, we have Polan, hailing unsurprisingly from Poland. He's a newcomer to the pro scene who recently made his mark after defeating the one and only Inkugark, a match which instantly turned a lot of attention on him. He's been having a lot of success ever since, establishing himself as a solid player. Many has described him as a young Starflash, as he's prone to playing very aggressively. And while his erratic and unorthodox playstyles can sometimes make him lose against weaker opponents, it can also work the other way around, making him take games against players much stronger than he is. One thing is for sure though, he is done being invaded. This time around, it's time for Poland to go on the offensive. Out next, hailing from Austria, we have the one and only deadfs, winner of Season 1 of the Egg Cup, and also a returning player from Season 2 of the Grandmasters Live Tournament, where he reached the semifinals, being knocked out by Starflash. deadfs is an absolutely terrifying player, who's currently ranked the 9th best Advanced Wars player in the world. In a regular match, I would say he's capable of taking games against any player, regardless of their skill level, and he's no slouch in live matches either. deadfs is one of the clear favorites to win this entire tournament.
Oh la la, but good.
Then we have Talose. Hailing from France, Talose is a player with an impressive amount of accolades to his name. He's another player who has been part of both prior seasons of this tournament. In the first season, he made it to the semifinals, where he got knocked out by Sif. In the second season, he made it all the way to the grand finals, where he barely lost to Starflash, but both times he came very close to winning the tournament entirely. Talose has also taken wins against some of the biggest names in the community. He beat Inkugark in the Egg Cup, and he also took a game against the legendary Go 7 during the recent Discord Cup, something very few players can profess to have done. I am of the opinion that Talose is extremely underrated. Despite having an MMR of 1400, he is consistently seen beating players in the 1600 range. Despite being French, Talose is easily another favorite to win this tournament. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have the one and only Grimm Guy. He should need absolutely no introduction if you've been watching my videos as of late. This mysterious alt account burst onto the scene just a few months ago and started dominating the ladder. While Grimm alt accounts have been around on the site for as long as the site has existed, few has been able to achieve as much success as Grimm Guy, taking wins against some really big names, and dominating COs which Grimm just shouldn't be able to dominate. Grimm Guy has validated all those Grimm fanboys in my comment section who has been angry at me for calling him a bad CO all this time. And while he is obviously at a disadvantage in this tournament, as he has vowed to only play as Grimm, he has been playing at a disadvantage throughout his entire career, so maybe he will be right in his element here. One thing is for sure, you should get out of his way, cause he's got crushing to do. So, those are all the players that will be participating in this tournament. Now I'll quickly go over the rules and the maps. Every match will be live, meaning both players will have 15 minutes on the clock, and they get 1 extra minute for every turn that passes. The maps will have a maximum day limit of 20, and Capture Victory will be turned on, meaning that if either player captures 75% of all the properties on the map, they will win immediately. In this tournament, Black Bombs and Stealth Fighters will be banned, but for this tournament, we've selected a lot of mixed base maps, as they tend to be very exciting in a live format. Here are the maps which will be featured in this tournament. Round 1 will be played on Archive Planet, a map which has the players start dangerously close to one another, but still separated by water. There won't be a lot of conflict around the bases initially, but there are opportunities for either player to deploy a rocket to base lock their opposition. But this is hard to do, because aggression will be fierce on all sides. Round 2 will be played on Forest Fruition, a very small map where a lot of conflict will take place on the central island, but there will also be some place for flanking maneuvers, and the airports will play a crucial role on this map. Round 3 will be played on Departure, a wild map which features a bunch of pipe seams which can be blasted to open the map further up, but it might be hard to find time for this as conflict will happen very quickly. Round 4 will be played on Confound Delivery, a deceptively peaceful looking map that will spiral into wild aggression very quickly due to how the bases are laid out. It's very easy for a base trade to occur on this map, turning into a more traditional south versus north battle, as both players also start with a pre-deployed lander which can be used in very clever ways, either blocking the opponent or transporting infantry to capture their properties. Round 5 will be played on Double Cheeseburger Combo, a semi-island map that is incredibly open thanks to the shoals in the center. There are some islands which can be taken to unlock airports, but that requires the players to build black boats to transport infantry there, and that may not be something they have time or resources for. So it will be interesting to see if both players will just do a gentleman's agreement on this and get their airports, or if they will remain uncaptured for the whole game. Round 6 will be played on the map Haze of Deimos, and this is another hyper-aggressive mixed-base map which is very likely to end up in a base trade, as both players can apply a lot of pressure to their opponent's solitary corner base. A very cool map with a lot of possibilities for strong comebacks. And then, the 7th round and the finals will be played on the map Futuristica. This map is absolutely crazy. It looks deceptively closed off due to all the forest tiles, but it is actually very easy to traverse thanks to all the roads and properties. There are actually a lot of possibilities for recons to be highly effective here. Furthermore, if either player is crazy enough to deploy missiles, they can actually lock down their opponent's airport down from the other side of the pipe seam. There are also comm towers which can be reached, but they are hard to get to. This is no doubt going to be an absolutely wild map to end this tournament, and I have no doubt that the match will be an absolute banger. So, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys will be as hyped and excited for this tournament as I am. All donations received during this stream will go towards the player's prize pool. Additionally, there is a PayPal linked in the video description, and all donations given using this link will also go towards the prize pool. So if you feel like donating now, go right ahead. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see as many of you tune into this magnificent tournament on Saturday. The stream has already been scheduled and should be appearing in front of you shortly. Make sure you click it, give it a like, and click on the bell to enable notifications when we go live. My name is Mangs, and I hope to see you guys join me and Deejus for an absolutely amazing Saturday of Advanced Wars. You really don't want to miss out on this.